Good morning. It's time for my midweek pickup. It is Wednesday, so it's time to get this knowledge in. First, I want to give a shout out to my girl Stephanie. Everybody gotta go cop one of these shirts. If you can see it, let me try and make sure everybody can see it. Good vibes, baby. That's what we promote. Good vibes. So shout out to Stephanie for getting me my tanks and everything because I really needed it. And I always want to support my friends and any black owned business that I can, especially if it's somebody who I came up with, because it's very important that we all support each other, because that's the only way that we're going to get anywhere in life. Just a little keynote to drop in there. Today I want to talk about you can't save everybody. This is going to kind of be a continuation from last week's midweek pickup and just some other things that I wanted to kind of put in there and kind of clarify during this midweek pickup. Now, I know a lot of people out there are probably like me in the regards of trying to help somebody either, physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. In my situation, I feel like God gave me that gift. My spiritual gift is to help people. But the thing that I had to quickly understand, and I've always been like this my whole life with friends and cousins or whatever. Anytime I could help, I would try and help them. But what I've been learning is here recently, and I know it's just a test or whatever, trying to see if I'm going to waver and lose faith in people or whatever the case may be. But sometimes there is no helping a person. Sometimes there is no getting somebody out of a certain spot to put or to uplift them into the spot that you may think that they're going into. Because the number one thing that you always have to remember is you can't change the person. The person is going to have to change themselves or want to change. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get through to that person. If it's just one person trying to make the change or trying to get somebody to see something through their eyes or through their own live life through the way that the person who's trying to help thinks that they should live it. If that person is not willing to put the effort in to sacrifice and to make the things happen to become better, then you're going to be wasting your time. And we all know that time is something that's very important. I've said this millions of times in my midweek pickup. Time is a necessity that we cannot play with. It's not something that is squandered. That's the one and only thing that we cannot recycle or get back by trade is time. So it's very important that we don't waste our time with foolishness versus wasting our time with something that's going to get us to where we need to be. And sometimes that foolishness can be friends. Sometimes that foolishness can be family. And you'll be surprised because a lot of times it's family and a lot of times it's the people who you have cared about the most that step on you when you're either trying to help them or when you're trying to show them a better way. And when you get to that point, when you get to the point to where you see yourself trying to help somebody and they're pushing back and you're like hitting like two opposite sides of the magnet, you're getting close and then you keep pushing back away, then that should be the sign for you that that person does not want your help. So there's no point in trying to continue to keep helping this person because this person is not susceptible to changing their ways. So you're sitting up here trying to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. What are you doing? You're wasting your time and you're not going to be able to get that back. That person's not going to look at you and be like, hey man, I see that you was trying to help me out, bro, but you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it. I'll try and give you your time back. No, that's not going to ever happen. And 9 times out of 10, when you're trying to help someone else, sometimes that person can get the selfish attitude. And the selfish attitude is overuse of help, if you will. I've been going through a lot of things in the past 2 months where I've learned a lot about people, I've learned a lot about family, and I've learned a lot about freeloaders. And it's sad to say, but most of the time, when you get somebody who is who says that they need your help or you are helping, then when they see how far you will go, they will start freeloading and taking advantage of your kindness. And that's something that you do not need to happen, because not only are they slapping themselves in the face, because after you finally realize you know exactly what's going on or whatever, and then you stop helping them, and you may have been the only person that was willing to help them after they burnt the bridge, then you know that's when they want to come back and try and throw the pity action at you, if you will. Oh, I'm going through this and that, and you don't understand, and blah blah blah. It's understandable that you're going through that, but when someone tries to help you and is trying to get you to understand, hey, if you have an open line of communication with me, then maybe I can understand the situation a little bit better. But sometimes you have that one person who you're helping that's so selfish, so pig-headed, and so hard-headed or whatever, that they feel like they don't have to explain anything to you, and you're just supposed to wait. But here's where the family and the business aspect changes or whatever, because then you want to be completely professional with the person after you either A, don't get the money for the job, or B, they're just complaining about anything. You want to try and get back in business mode when you were in family mode the whole time. But here's the key to anybody who's in any business. What you have to understand first and foremost: never ever waver this. Doesn't matter if it's family, doesn't matter if it's your best friend, doesn't matter if it's whoever. If you have a business transaction, it is a business transaction. Business. That's it, period. There should be no, you need to hook me up. We've been knowing each other for X amount of years. You got to look out for me this time, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And if you're an entrepreneur, you have to always think of things in, I guess, outside of the box. So you have this person that you're trying to help get whatever started. You already give them a discount off top because you say, hey, this is my boy, this is my family or whatever, let me give them this discount. You're already helping them. With that right there, you've already destroyed the professional business part of whatever deal that you have going on, because you're already lowballing yourself, and then you're giving them a chance to think that they can go in and lowball you even more. So you always have to be careful, and you always have to ask somebody, this question, especially when somebody's always trying to ask for the hookup or whatever. You always have to ask them. Say when you go over to McDonald's, for instance, they got the 2 for $5s. Are you asking them to hook you up and do a 2 for $3 for you? No, you're not. You're paying the 2 for $5 and you're getting your food and you're eating it. Why you can't do that with somebody that's in business that's doing the same thing? Why can't you be the same way with me, per se, that you are with McDonald's? You're not going to go into McDonald's and be like, say, man, I want 20 burgers. You need to hook me up real quick with a discount because I've been coming to y'all for 10, 15 years. No, it doesn't happen like that. And people do not do that to major restaurants. But the killer is they'll do that to a small business owner in a flash, because they already think, hey, this person needs my business anyway. Maybe they'll give me a discount just to lock it in or whatever. Those are the people you need to avoid, because they're sucking the life out of your business and out of your drive. That's the type of people you don't need around. And sadly, and it's the truth, but nine times out of 10, it's going to be either your family or your friends that's going to expect this long known discount to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, then they want to get mad at you, and everybody knows how it goes. But when you're in business, it's not your place to be concerned with the pity party that the person is trying to have with you in order to screw you over and not pay you what you are really worth. And that goes into, you can't save everybody, because you cannot save everybody. The funny part about it is, like with me in business, I run across people every day, and a lot of my business does come from my friends and my family. And I'm not saying that my friends and my family always ask for a discount, but sometimes they do, but it's not a lot. But it's funny when you meet a complete stranger, and before you can even tell them anything, they're already, hey, I'll give you such and such down payment if you want to do this or whatever, or I'll pay you up front, or I'll pay you half now and half later. Those are the type of people that you need to have in your business, because for one, they're not going to ask you for a discount, period, because they don't really know who you are. You have to always understand that your friends and your family, they know who you are. They know where you've come from. It may be a reason why some of them don't support you in the things that you do, because they know where you come from. They know what you've been through or whatever. A complete stranger is not going to know anything about you like that. So they're going to treat it as a business professional matter. When you have friends and family that you're doing it for, they're automatically going to think, hey, this is Rick. I know he can hook me up with X amount of things, so I'm going to try and see if he'll do that. And you can't do that, because if you keep doing that, then they're going to tell the next friend, and the next friend's going to tell the next friend, and then everybody else is going to be expecting you to do something for them and not get paid what your worth is. So you cannot save everyone, because everyone is not meant to be saved. And especially in the business aspect, you are not supposed to be going out trying to find a way to give your family or your friends a discount, because they should be the main ones who want you to succeed and want to see you succeed. So you have to look at it like that. And again, sometimes you can't save everybody. So then you get the, oh, he's mean, he's this, he's that, he's whatever the case may be. It's not that a person's mean. It's just that a person is going to stand firm in what they've said and what they've done. It's a lot of people that I try and help in different aspects, and I'm never going to change that, because that is the spiritual gift that God bestowed upon me, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I know that in my heart, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But that does not mean that I'm supposed to let people take advantage of me and do me any kind of way just because I have a kind heart, and everybody else needs to know that as well. Just because you have a kind heart, they're going to attack that. They're going to use that to their advantage, because you have to understand, they've known you for a while, so they know what makes you tick. A perfect stranger doesn't know what makes you tick, so they're going to offer to pay the deposit. They're going to offer to pay, in full. They're going to offer, to pay you what you're worth, because they don't know exactly what you're worth, but when they find out what you're worth, there's never going to be oh, let me get a discount. You did it last time. Let's do it this time. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, with that being said, everybody just be on guard, because if you're like me and you feel that, you can help people in certain aspects in life, do it, but don't get taken advantage of. Do not get taken advantage of. I'm going to go on and wrap it up, but I want to leave this footnote with any and everybody who's trying to start off working for themselves, or trying to become an entrepreneur, or somebody who has a gift that they're trying to let the world see. If you have a talent, and God gave you a talent, a real talent, and you're good at it, and you know that it's something that is a necessity to people, and you're good at it, that's what you need to stick with. That's what you need to perfect first. It's always good to have multiple sources of income coming in. That's great. But don't overwhelm yourself and try and do this, this, and this all at once when you can't perfect either one of those three things. And then you're stressing out about, worried about where the next dollar is going to come from, how you're going to pay your bills. Oh, you quit and, you're worried that you can't, how's a good way of putting it? You can't be successful in the eyes of other people. These are things that people worry about when they make that leap or whatever. Like me, for example, I always would kind of worry about, where the next dollar is going to come from. But I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I'm trying to perfect what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to perfect this one craft that I'm trying to do right now. When I perfect that, then I'm going to pick up another craft, and then I'm going to try and perfect that one. So you have me cooking barbecue, and I'm trying to perfect that, and then I move on to maybe motivational speaking or something, just using examples. But the thing is, you have to master the first thing that you're trying to do. You have to master that first, and then you can go on to the next thing. What we do so much and what we end up failing in is we try and do this, then we try and do that, then we try and do this, and then we try and do that. Yes, it may be bringing in money, but one of those things is going to start to suffer. And then once that one thing starts to suffer, the other is going to start to suffer. And if you haven't perfected one of those things that you're trying to do, then you're going to be asked out because you don't have anything else, because you're trying to make everything else, pop at the same level as the one thing that you should be trying to perfect. And people don't understand because they're so frantic and they stress or whatever. You can't stress about things like that. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to know it's going to be blood, sweat, tears. It's going to be hard. People are going to expect you to fail. People who you think that is not going to expect you to fail is going to expect you to fail because they don't see you as up here. They see you as right here when they first known you or when they first met you or whatever. So when they see you start to rise, sometimes that person will come back and try and bring you back down to the level that they known you at before. And that's something that you cannot have. You cannot do that type of thing. You're not going to grow if you don't find that one niche and perfect it, then move on to other things so you can grow your empire. I'm trying to grow a brand. I want my barbecue to be a brand. I want this to be a brand, but all under the same tree. And I can't perfect, motivational speaking while I'm trying to perfect barbecuing because I'm not giving the right amount of time to both things to perfect them. So you have to get your priorities straight. You have to know exactly what you're doing. Entrepreneur life is hard. As soon as, for example, if I have to move out of my house, it's going to be people who are going to think, oh man, since he quit his job, he lost his house or whatever. No, that might not be the case. I might just be moving because I'm moving, but people always think, oh man, he done took that leap and he's going to fail. People expect failure. When they see you make it, that's what blows their mind. They don't understand how you did it or what steps you put into it. Perfect example. I went back up to my old job to sell plates or whatever, and each person asked me what I was doing now. It's kind of obvious, but I told them, and they were like, "Oh well, you're still in school. I know it's pretty hard or whatever." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not in school anymore." First thing that came out of two people's mouths was, "Oh, you had to quit. I know it was pretty rough, huh? Since you're not working." And then I'm like, no, I graduated already. And the look on their face was so priceless because they expected me to fail. When I told them that I had graduated, they were like, oh, and you're still doing your cooking? Of course I am. Because I'm not going to fail like you expect me to. I'm going to prove you wrong. And sometimes that has to be your motivation to prove a doubting, negative naysayer wrong. And when you do that, that's when all else falls into place. And it feels good because when you prove somebody wrong that's expecting for you to fail, it's like you've thrown an egg directly in their face, and then they want to try and find something else out that they can root for you to fail at. That's why I'm telling you, you always got to watch it, because you can't help everybody, because sometimes people are rooting for you to fail. I've went completely over. It's been 20 minutes now. I want to appreciate you if you sat through the whole thing with me. I know a lot of people look at time and they be like, ugh, I can't watch all of that. But hope everybody has a great weekend. I know I'm going to. It's vacation time. Time to go see some beautiful waters. With that being said, put God first, family second. Everything else will follow. And remember, you cannot help everyone. It's not for you to do that sometimes. Sometimes you have to let people fall on their face, skid it up, and let them heal so they can help themselves before you help them. Another thing, if you're not in a position where you should be helping someone, do not do it, period. Because if you need help, that other person most likely is not going to do the same thing that you would do for them. Keep that in mind when you're out there helping people and they're so selfish and they don't understand that, hey, this person actually is doing me a favor. I kind of owe this person or whatever, and I will repay them some type of way back, further down the line. Keep your guards up at all times, because people are like vultures. They're waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to fail so they can swoop in just to say, I told you so. You shouldn't have did that. Be smart about what you do. See y'all next week.